Hey, what up superstars, it's your boy Ibetonme with some more Destiny 2 content. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to get the dead man's tail and its callus in Destiny 2 Season of the Witch. I'm also going to give you guys a full review including weapon damage and TTK. But make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to give you guys the best god roll perks for this weapon and also the best craftable god roll that I'm going to be farming for to take guardians down and go into PvE. Also, I definitely want to tell you guys welcome to the channel. I appreciate the support. Now, during the Season of the Witch, Bungie introduced the new Exotic Mission Rotator. So this is a weekly activity that sees old missions come back to Destiny 2 and reward a new craftable version of the exotic weapons. Now, you could get this weapon from the exotic quest Presage, which this week until Tuesday reset, it is up for you to get the dead man's tail. So you definitely want to go ahead and get your grind on. Now, to acquire the craftable version of the dead man's tail, you will need to complete one run of the Presage on normal difficulty. And the exotic quest can be accessed through the Legends section on the Destination tab. Now, after finishing the Presage for the first time, you will be given a red border variant of the dead man's tail. Then you'll need to extract a pattern from it through the weapon mod interface, and it will be available as a craftable weapon at the Enclave in Savathun's throne world. Now, to obtain the dead man's tail callus, you'll need to complete one run of the Presage on Legend difficulty. Now, Legend difficulty is set at 1830 power, and it has equipment lock, and it's time restricted with players only having 30 minutes to clear the quest. Now, once the callus is obtained as a drop, you can apply it to dead man's tail by adding Dark Forest trigger as a perk at Savathun's Enclave in the throne world. Now, here's some good news. Those who have already obtained the callus prior to the Exotic Mission Rotator release will already have access to the callus. Now, with the Dark Forest trigger callus, it removes hip fire accuracy penalty and increases the rate of fire from the hip. Now, stacks of Cranial spike increases the hip fire further. Now, after acquiring the callus, it will require 2 more completions of the Presage to acquire the remaining upgrades, with each completion rewarding 1 extra tier up. Now, the tier upgrades are not time gated and can be earned in one go. Now, this weapon also has the exotic perk Cranial Spike. Chaining precision hits grant bonus target acquisition and range. You can also get this weapon upgraded to Cranial Spike tier 4. So you'll get the tier 1 of the Cranial Spike just by completing the regular version of the Presage. And you could get Cranial Spike 2, 3, and 4 just by completing more runs of the Presage. So each run you get will give you another upgrade, and it's any difficulty. It doesn't have to be on Legend. You can just do it on regular to obtain those patterns. So if I was you guys, man, I would go ahead and get a fire team, go on LFG or get with some of your friends and go ahead and knock out like 4 straight runs so you could go ahead and get this stuff done before Tuesday next reset. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, so we're about to get into some of the weapon stats of the dead man's tail, but down below in the comment section, let me know your thoughts on the dead man's tail. Are you guys going to be grinding for it? Also, what roles are you going to be farming for? And don't forget to stick around to the end because I'm going to share with you guys the perfect dead man's tail's god roll I'm going to be farming for PvP and PvE. Now, the dead man's tail is a 120 rounds per minute scout rifle with 14 in the magazine, and it has a real great recoil of base 89. And for the god roll that I'm going to craft for PvE, it comes with 4751 damage to the crit, which is the head, and 3209 damage to the body. Now, for PvE, the weapon damage fall off starts when you aim down sights at 91.86 meters and when you hip fire 45.93 meters. Now, for the PvP god roll I'm crafting, for the weapon damage for the head, which is the crit, is going to be 79.94 damage per shot, and then to the body is going to do 54 per shot. Now, when it comes to time to kill, for the optimal TTK, which is all headshots, is 1 second. For body shot TTK, we're looking at 1.50 seconds. And for the PvP weapon damage fall off, aiming down sights is going to start at 96.45 meters, and hip fire is going to start at 48.23 meters, same as PvE. Now, when it comes to the dead man's tail weapon god roll trace, it has some pretty decent ones. Now, I'm going to show you guys the perfect god roll I'm going to be farming for. Now, if you don't go for the roll that I'm going to be farming for, I would suggest going for these 2 rolls, one for PvP and one for PvE. These are the perks that you want to have on. I would suggest for PvE, go with Compulsive Reloader because it's going to increase reload speed when close to full magazine. So if you're 50% above the magazine capacity, it's going to increase that reload by 50. So it's going to go from 50 to 100 reload speed. Man, this thing is going to be blazing fast, and you need that in PvE to clear ads. And for PvP, the second best trait is going to be rapid hit. Rapid precision hits temporarily increase stability and reload speed. So you're going to be able to get the max of 5 stacks. That's going to increase your stability by plus 25 and your reload speed by plus 60. This thing is going to be almost like a legal aimbot, how good rapid hit makes this weapon feels. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get into my perfect god roll for both PvP and PvE. So let's go ahead and start with PvE first. Alright, so for our perfect PvE god roll, let's look at the stats to the left first. We're going to have 100 range, 40 stability, 60 handling, 80 aim assist with a 50 reload. Alright, so let's look at the perks and the traits in the middle. Line number 1, we're going with corkscrew rifling. It's going to add plus 5 to stability, plus 5 to range, plus 5 to handling. Line number 2, high caliber rounds. Shots from this weapon knocks the target back further, so it's going to increase that flinch on enemies, and it's going to add plus 5 to our range. So in line number 3, we're going with Vorpal weapon. Increase damage against bosses, vehicles, and guardians with their super active. So the damage is increased by the ammo type. So if you're using a primary weapon, it's going to add plus 20% damage in PvE to a boss. It's going to add 40 to 50% damage if someone is in a super in PvP. For your special weapon, it's going to add 15% damage, 10 to 20% in PvP, and on heavy it's going to do 10% damage to bosses, 5 to 10% in PvP. And in line number 4, we're going with composite stock. It's going to add plus 5 to stability and also plus 5 to handling. And then, like I said, we got the Dark Forge trigger catalyst. So let's look over the effects over to the left. We got Cranial Spike, corkscrew rifling, high caliber rounds, Vorpal weapon, composite stock with the Dark Force trigger catalyst. So let's go ahead and get into that perfect PvP god roll for you PvP maniacs out there. So for the perfect PvP god roll, let's look at the stats over to the left. 100 impact, 100 range, 57 stability, 85 handling, 50 reload, 80 aim assist with 100 recoil. Let's look at the perks and the traits in the middle. In line number 1, small bore is going to add plus 7 to stability, plus 7 to range. Line number 3, we got ricochet rounds. It's going to add plus 5 to our range and plus 10 to our stability, and rounds ricochet off hard surfaces. Then in line number 3, we're going with killing wind. Final blows grant increased mobility, weapon range, and handling for a short duration. So upon a weapon kill for 5 seconds, it's going to add plus 50 to mobility, plus 40 to handling, and plus 20 to range with a 5% increased damage fall off distance. And while this perk is active, an additional kill increase the duration by 5 seconds up to 8 seconds. And in line number 4, we're going to go with fitted stock. It's going to add plus 10 to our stability, plus 11 to our recoil direction with a minus 5 handling, but that's okay because we're going to have 100 recoil. So let's look at the effects over to the left. Cranial spike, small bore, ricochet rounds, killing wind, fitted stock, and Dark Forge trigger catalyst. If you are looking for more Destiny 2 how-to guide videos, I would suggest you watch this playlist next. Also, don't forget to like and sub. You guys have a blessed day. Peace.